Well, good, because I hit the button. We're live now. Hello, everybody who wakes up early and those who download it later. Welcome to Frenemy Fire. We have a guest here, NanoGoblin. Hello there. He's
Howdy,
on fire,
howdy.
though. He is the fire from
Rawr.
Fire. I like. Is that a? Because I used to use Snapcam for like weird effects like that. What is using that? I gotta make my circle smaller.
So it's a mix of two programs. One, Snapcam, and then
Oh.
two, XSplitCam.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's kind of two things coming together
Gotcha,
to make
gotcha,
this
gotcha.
saucy mess. Yeah.
I used Snapcam and then they discontinued it, so like I didn't know if I should even bother anymore. But I mean, if it works, it works. I had a potato emote that was used all from that at one point, but I don't know. Then the face filter still like took over the stream for a bit. I need to find something else that does it now that I got rid of Snapcam because like I kind of liked using those, but eh, it's here, it's not here. But we are going to go over everything. You're in the middle of a move though, so you have been
Indeed.
a busy person. If you want to give everybody with the background of what you've been up to, feel
Okay.
free.
Sounds good. So, long story short, the family wanted to move to Canada and like try something new and have access to like great transportation and great healthcare, all that good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we said, okay, for our base of operations, while we figure out what's going on and what we need to do, we'll move to Washington State so we can be, right on the border and
Right.
easy to move our stuff across. Well, heads up, guys, Washington State is super expensive. And yeah,
Yeah. Where isn't expensive though? You know, like that's the other thing. I'm like, I feel like everywhere I think about going now is just a whole lot. My state's no better.
Texas is actually okay. So that's so they made it super hard to immigrate for Americans to immigrate to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And long story short, after a little over a month, we said, let's go home. So now we're back in Texas.
Well, I mean, yeah, hit it home. I just want to be somewhere where it's warm and like Rick says, not as expensive as Connecticut. The state sucks. My state is ass, and especially the town I live in is like considered part of the county with all like the rich people and like the tail ass into Connecticut. So we get treated like them, but we are not rich like them. So it's a whole mess. But if all my siblings would move somewhere, I would go. I say all, two of them. But like we just don't want to be like separate. All Kev's exes live in Texas. I've never dated a girl from Texas, Rick. And also, fuck country music. There's another reason I can't go there. I wouldn't be able to last. So that is,
Yeehaw.
yeah, yeehaw indeed. But while you've been doing that, you got two things you said you've been playing. So if you want to elaborate on them, please let me know what you've been playing because I see
Sure.
one. I like them both.
So the two main things that I've been playing, now keep in mind, all my stuff is in a U-Haul box on its way back down from Washington. So be gentle with me, guys. I've been
Sure.
playing Super Mario RPG, the new one, and it's phenomenal. I can't say enough great things about it. And Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo.
Which is really good.
Uh,
It's good. Shouldn't say really
it's one of my faves from back in the day. And like, I don't want to bore you guys with too much of the detail, but one of the reasons I absolutely love that game is because when I had a family member in the hospital when I was younger, we would go visit every single day. And they had a Super Nintendo machine in the play area for the kids,
good. Mm-hmm.
back in the day, where they could go and chill and kind of, recuperate from their medical experiences. And family members, aka me, go down and play some video games as well. And Super Nintendo and Power Rangers were one of the games that were there. So I spent a lot of my childhood uh, yelling Triceratops and wishing I could turn into the Blue Ranger and date Trini.
Actually, Daytree. The Red Ranger was my guy. I was never a Green Ranger, White Ranger, boring person like everyone else. It's the basic answer. It was all about the Red Ranger. At
Dude,
least
I
not me.
respect that.
It is. Everyone likes the Green Ranger, but he's weak. He got corrupted by evil. Weak. That's why I don't like him. I don't need none of that in my life. Jason was the best, and that was always my guy. Jason or
Jason
Rocky.
always got like thrown under the bus, bro. It's not fair.
It's not. He was always disrespected. I always thought he was the best
Yeah,
leader. Like then Tommy just walks in like he's the biggest fucking deal in the room. Which I hated, and I just always had a thing against him from that point on in my life. And I think it was my older brother's favorite. So I said, you know what? Fuck him. Never, not a fan of Tommy, even though he's a good guy. And I feel bad because like it seems like Tommy or whatever Jason David Frank was like, he was a genuinely nice person. It seems like throughout his whole life, and unfortunately that he passed away in the way he did. But like, he just
yeah.
seems like he was a really good guy, man. Like, but fuck the Green Ranger as a character. Stand by that still.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think I've ever beaten this game ever. And then there's this one on Super Nintendo, and then when I worked in a game store, I remember there's a Genesis game with the same title, but it's like a really bad 2-button fighter, if I remember right. So like that kind of sucked. And then there's the movie one after this, which I never played. I don't know if you did before.
The movie one's great, dude. That adds the verticality. We were discussing a little bit before stream that verticality that you were looking for.
Yeah.
Like, because it goes from like being in the foreground to the background. So it gives you an opportunity to
Let's see if
to
I can
get
find
that
that one.
that depth and verticality you're looking for. So it's worth a try.
Let me see if I can find that. Power Rangers, the movie. I guess I'll go Super Nintendo one. I think the Genesis one, that one probably plays the same. Oh my God, there's Jason right there. So let me see, because I've just never played this one. The problem is like yeah, okay, I can see that now. This is more of like a more traditional beat 'em up that I would be like looking for, and it's 2-player, which is a big any beat 'em up that's 1 player. Like even Final Fight on Super Nintendo, like I try to find another version of that to play because there's so much. Tommy Oliver, Best Ranger, Fight Me. Which one is Tommy Oliver? Because I'm terrible at actor names, Rick. Um, I don't know who.
Jason
I'm not.
David Frank got me.
Yeah, yeah. JDF is Tommy, but who's? Oh, the green. Wait, green. Oh, Tommy's last name. Oh, I never knew his last name. I don't know. Makes sense. Yeah, no. Red Ranger is still my guy. And one of the Red Rangers also stabbed his roommate with a sword, which is badass. I think it was in self defense. They just heard right. I don't remember that. I
I
can't
like
remember.
that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna self defend yourself with a fucking sword, that's way cooler than a gun in any day. 10 out of 10. So, respect to him for that. Unless it wasn't self defense, because I can't remember. But going to back to Super Mario RPG. So since you've been playing that as well, I did play this a bunch as a kid. I thought I beat it, but like I was watching my friend Velcrafting play, and like going back and looking at it, I only got to the factory, so I don't think I've ever beaten it. So now I have to do that. But how far are you in it?
Well, I just started it, so I'm gonna I'm gonna be a little naughty. I'm playing it um on an emulator. I so
What? You can't do that.
I mean I mean on my Switch.
Right, 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 right,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Only a
But
Switch and nothing else ever.
that's right. Although although ladies and gentlemen, I do have the physical copy
Well, there you go. At
right
least you did your
here.
part. Like that's usually where my line of morality comes. Like if they're selling a version of the game, I always feel like that's how you should play it. But everyone's situation is different, kind of thing, you know. So like, by the way, this is from NanoGoblin. Thank you. I love this mixer bottle. This thing's
You're
fucking
welcome,
wonderful.
homie.
Mm.
I'm glad you like it.
I've been using it nonstop. Um, yeah, Super Mario RPG is really, really fun. I don't want Gino to be in Smash Brothers as he should be. That's a big disrespect that he's not.
100%.
Yeah. Let's see. Nano Goblin doesn't send me swag. Okay, fucking Rick. It ain't about you. Damn it, Rick. Love you. Yeah, so I gotta get through this. When you get to it, have you ever like I guess how far have you ever gotten in Super Mario RPG?
So
Like
you know that like 2.5D like puzzle maze
yes.
midway through the game?
Yeah.
That's where my little kid brain is like, ooh, shiny, and goes
Hmm.
to play something else. Um,
Gotcha. All right.
so I'm hoping that my adult mature brain doesn't go ooh shiny and go
Yeah.
and I can actually sit down and finish it.
The well there is a part, not I don't want to spoil too much, but there is a boss fight that is very reminiscent of the Power Rangers. And that part always got my ass kicked as a kid because it's a 5-on-3 fight. And they all like have mechanics to like heal each other or boost each other. It kicked my
Mhm.
ass as a kid. So I just had to sit there and like grind my way to death until like I finally beat it. It seems a little easier when I was watching somebody play it now, but that could also be we're adults now and we understand that like instead of beating your head against the wall, you should probably like go back, get experience, grind, and all that shit. So I don't know. I am willing
Mm.
to try that. I do want this. This and Mario Wonder are like my two things I need to get like soon, but that's eventual. Is
Oh,
there anything?
speaking of Mario Wonder, dude,
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yes.
it's so good.
I want to play it. It's just there's too many games, and two, while I'm on my layoff time from work, I gotta kind of be like, a little less. Is frugal cheap or throwing money around? I don't know. I gotta watch what I do, kind of thing. There's so many things I want to get through.
Thrifty.
Yeah, I just one of those. So I got to get through those. But if that's everything you've been playing, I got some things to share. If you would like to see them, it's not in my
Nice.
penis. Not my penis, promise.
Oh,
Things I have been
damn it.
playing. Yeah, it's not. I'll go over the quick ones. So I've been over. Well, first of all, Dead Cells with Twitch integration. I didn't get to do that this week, so that's a lie. Let's see. Back in time. All right. So what was it? Saturday night. I want to say Saturday night. I played a bunch of games with people on Twitch while I was stuck in my room alone because even though this was my little isolation chamber, I'm allowed to be out now. I'm fully clear. Um, and we played Jackbox with a bunch of people, which is always my biggest fear on Twitch because I didn't set up the integration like the way it wants you to. Because if somebody says some heinous like racist shit, it'll ban them, not let them in the game. But luckily, I am surrounded by people who aren't giant dickholes in my chat, so I haven't had to worry
Mhm.
about that. Next time I do, I'll probably figure out like how to set it up properly. Jackbox is fun. Chelsea is funnier than me. I admit it. She won more games of Quiplash. She's the champion. However, we are going to try to plan another game of that. And if you would like to see that happen, I got a channel point thing uh, down in the channel, whatever it's called. And if you fill it up, we'll do another one. I'm hoping on the 15th. If I have to change that date for any reason, I'll let everybody know. But it's really fun. I like Jackbox a lot. And the thing that sucks, me and my friend had this revelation last night at practice. It's just hard to get everybody together as you get older. And like, how do I do that? Like, how do you clip that? Go back, find the video. That's the easiest way to. Oh, what I just said? You figure it out. It's on you, girl. It's just really fun to get everyone together and play Jackbox. They're simple games. They don't take a whole lot of thinking. TKO was rough at first, but I ended up liking that game a lot. And the way we did it is whoever won, just pick a Jackbox pack, and then you can pick the game you want to play. So I hope we can get everyone there for the 15th. I know December's a busy month. I want to clip that you said I'm funnier than you. Good luck. If you want to clip it, it's on you, girl. She's gonna try to start Twitch streaming. You got to learn these things. And then what else did I play? Pokemon Radical Red. I like that game. I like Pokemon. That game is hard as fuck, which is something I wanted from Pokemon for a long, long time. But I'm not a Pokemon metagamer, man. I don't know if you are, but like learning like
Mhm.
EVs and IVs and all that, I can't. I don't know if you do that.
Far from it, my friend.
Yeah.
Far from it. Like, I'm just the guy that's like, which Pokemon looks the coolest? I'm gonna
Yeah.
use that one.
That's what I wanted to do. I mean, I guess it's the monkey's paw of like I want it to be harder, but not this hard. And I was having a good time with it. Like I was learning like strategies and stuff, but it did one thing that I absolutely hate when games do for no reason is I got through 5 gyms, and then I go down to Fuchsia to do Koga's gym. So I did Sabrina first, and then I get to Koga's gym and it says the door is locked. I'm like, okay, well that wasn't in the normal game. Like, why is that? So I go on Reddit, look it up, and like find out what to do. You have to go back and rematch the gym trainers you've beaten. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So I'm like, and just to get into Fuchsia, they redid the routes where there was this hard as hell dragon trainer that I had to beat. And it took me like a whole stream to beat him, to like figure out what I needed with strategy. And then to go back after I just got my ass kicked to be like, go fight all those gym trainers you beat once before. Now they have like level 70s. I'm just like, dude, I'm good. I hate when games do dumb, unnecessary backtracking for no reason. Like in a Metroidvania, I get it. That's the whole gimmick of the game. But like, just to stop your progress and be like, don't feel like it right now. It just like feels like padding. And like, I would probably keep going if I wasn't just sick of Kanto in Pokemon. Like I've seen it to death. Like the next ROM hack I do is gonna be no Kanto, no more Pallet Town, no more Cerulean. Like just over it. I want like a brand new experience. So I'm gonna have to
Well,
look
I've got a
things up.
good one for you then.
I
Bl-
which one is it? I'll put it in my little list real quick.
Blaze Black.
Blaze Black. Okay, let me see. I have a little channel point thing for it where I'm gonna read from Pokemon Blaze Black. Yeah, I'm assuming it's off black.
Yep, it's based on Pokemon Black, and man, oh man, you want a challenge?
Jeez.
That is that is a true challenge, and I agree.
What is
Pokemon
it?
Black, Blaze Black.
Yeah, I do like that. Yes, I'll have to try it and work it out, figure it out, but I'll give it a shot. I mean, is it a DS one? Do I need to download a DS emulator versus a GBA one?
Yeah, and if you need help with it, I can totally help you walk you through it.
Yeah, I might. I never did a DS
Ironic for
emulator.
a guy in a chair, I know.
And then what else did I do? So Lethal Company. So this is like the new Twitch, like not Twitch, like Steam, like popular game going around right now. Like everyone seems to be talking about Lethal Company. So me and
Mm.
Velcrafting tried it. I you know me, I maybe in the name you may have heard. I'm not exactly a PC guy, but I do have a Steam Deck, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna try it like unless it's like Steam Deck verified or playable because that's the only way I'm playing on PC, right? It is playable on Steam Deck. Sure, it sure runs on a Steam Deck, but barely.
Oh
So we
God.
tried this game out. It looks like I will say this looks better than it does on Steam Deck. It kind of looks like garbage. So when I play it, I'll probably play it on a PC and like actually load it up on here. So me and Vel, 2-man crew. The point of this game, from what we can figure, that guy looks silly, is to go into these planets and then you're kind of just searching for scrap. And you get the scrap, you bring it back to your ship. Sounds simple. Apparently at night, a bunch of monsters and spooky things come out. So you got to get in there, get the scrap, and get out. And the darker it gets, the more dangerous it gets. But by midnight, your ship will leave the planet for its own safety. So you're kind of on a time limit. And we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, to put it nicely. It's just like there's no real map of the planet. There's no like real way to even see like where your teammate is if you lose sight of them. Unless somebody's in the ship and they're watching a radar. So like that's got to be somebody else's job. So like doing it with 2 people just doesn't seem like we had enough. If that makes sense. So I don't know. I can't say I'm in love with it like everyone else is. I don't know how if you've heard of it.
I have. It seems like kind of like it's gonna be one of those fad games, a little bit like Phasmophobia,
Yes.
where it's gonna be have this really big upswell and then just come crashing down really quick.
Yeah. I kind of see that happening. I mean, it's like a fun goof around thing, but I don't know. I can't say it was like thrilling for me. When I saw a spider, I thought it was cool. I mean, I'm willing to try it again with a full group, but it kind of seems like you do need that full group of people. So, verdict for me is still out on it, but we'll try it again one day. I don't know. And then I got the coolest thing I want to talk about if you've been around my streams, because this game fucks so hard. Oh god, I love this game. I'm obsessed with it. I don't know if you know me, people, but I am as I call it, a slut for roguelike games. Not only that, I love me some shooters. I love cell shading graphics. I love a whole bunch of stuff in these games. And this is from the beta. Doesn't matter. This is a game called RoboQuest, which is basically if Doom, Borderlands, and Gunfire Reborn had a baby, this is pretty much it. It's you're a robot. You're going into these wastelands, eliminate robots along the way, find weapons, get as far as you can, die, and then when you die, you go back, get some permanent upgrades, and just repeat that process until you're strong enough to beat it, baby. Every time you do it, the layout of the levels are different guns on the runs with different stats, kind of thing. It's so fucking good, and it's on Game Pass, which makes my heart happy because I'm a Game Pass slut as well. Have you
Oh
seen
my
this?
God, we need to play this. This looks amazing.
It is. The one thing that it has of a downfall is that instead of 4-player co-op, it's only 2, which it like kind of sucks, but with the way the level arenas are kind of played out, they are kind of small, so I can see how 4 would get chaotic. But this game is so fun, man. If you got Game Pass, I'm willing to try it. It's crossplay, we learned, with like no issue. You kind of just make a room ID, and then if you're on Steam, I don't know if it's on PlayStation or anything else, but like whatever you're playing it on, you just find the room ID and you just get in. And I, being a Doom, also, I'm a slut for a lot of things. A Doom guy. The character, the Guardian, is my favorite because if you played Doom 2016, when people get stunned, they like glow and you melee them for a bunch of health. That's his
Mm-hmm.
gimmick. So if they're stunned and you melee them, you don't have a big window like in Doom, but like if you melee them, you get more health back. So I kind of feel like I'm playing a roguelike of Doom because nobody really has seemed to made a good one yet, as far as I can tell. So he's so good, man. Yeah, if you like Borderlands or just Doom or shooters in general, man, I can't recommend this enough. I'm having the time of my life playing it. Um, and I know some people don't like
Where's this been
roguelikes.
all my life?
I that's what I was thinking. So like, I saw it in game like the Game Pass, like it's a game preview on it, and I usually don't play games in early access because if I beat it, I'm probably not gonna go back usually and like redo it by the time it's fully out. And I don't know. And then if it's like buggy in preview, like I get a sour taste in my mouth. But I was willing to do it for this one, and then it actually came out in version 1.0 while I was thinking about playing it. So here we are. It's here. It's out, and it's wonderful. I will say I've seen like probably every gun in the game so far, but there's so many different stats on the guns. Like, still doesn't matter if you've seen them all. I'm still learning the best like loadout per character, what you want to do, but I got the farthest I've ever gotten this morning. I was just kind of jerking around and playing it for a bit. But I'm addicted to this game, dude. I love it. I love roguelikes. I mean, Dead Cells is one of my favorite games of all time for a reason. So I highly recommend it. If you get it, I don't know if you got Game Pass, but if you do, like, let's play. I'm in.
Oh, I'm so down. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, it's real good. I don't know what else it's on though, but I should look. RoboQuest platforms, because like if it's for PlayStation, no, Xbox and Steam. That's it. Shit. Well, that sucks.
You know where
But
the cool kids play.
I mean, the cool kids play on Game Pass, baby. That's it.
That's right.
I can't wait till that stupid Game Pass is. Well, not stupid, but just it needs to be like native for the Steam Deck. Like, I just need it. Like the cloud thing is cool, but like we were talking before the show, it's cool until it doesn't work for that 1 second and you die because of some bullshit. That's the worst.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing. I popped on Fortnite last night to get Eminem because he's a character for reasons that I can't figure out, but okay.
Why not? You know,
I didn't get the whole
Goku and
bundle.
Eminem.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other game where Spider-Man can shoot an AK at Goku. who's getting nay-nayed by Batman. I mean, why not? I love it. It's the best. I did want the whole bundle, but I'm not even a big Eminem fan. I'll just do uh just one costume of him. So I didn't get everything. But that is everything I played. Oh, and I gotta put RoboQuest in S tier. I think it's my late game of the year contender. Like I was 30XX all the way this year until very recently. I don't know if you've ever played that either.
I have not, but I did think of another game that I did play a little bit of
Oh, hit me.
that I'm digging. Uh, RoboCop, the new RoboCop game.
Oh, I was actually Rogue City. It's called, right?
Yeah,
Not a roguelike, ironically. Me and Aaron were looking that
no.
up too. I'm not a RoboCop like fan. I didn't grow up with it, but that game does look cool. Let me get a gameplay video. There we
So
are.
let me ask you this: are you a fan of 1980s balls to the wall action, like violence and stuff like that?
I am. I am young, too young for most of those videos. But like, if I've gone back and watched the movies like Terminator or something, like I like them. They're of course very good. I think I saw RoboCop 1. I don't think I've ever watched any of the others, but yeah, I
I
like this
think we're
shit.
the same age. I'm 35.
No, I'm 31.
Okay,
Just missed it by a
so
wee bit.
so I didn't grow up with these either. Technically, I watched them, when I was a young lad around
Mm-hmm.
11 or 12,
Yeah,
the formative years. Um, Dude,
this
this
looks
game
cool.
is a love letter to violence of the 80s.
Yeah, this that gun has no recoil on it. That's kind of dangerous. I guess if you're RoboCop, you're not really going to be getting kicked back by too much gunfire, are you? Oh, that was
No,
cool. You shot an
you're
oxygen tank at a guy. Damn, this looks sick. How did you beat this? Or
um
no?
no, so I I splurged a little bit and I
Mm-hmm.
bought a PS5
Ooh.
um on granted I I don't want to take over the TV, that's in the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So I've only played a little handful of it. But
Well,
dude, what
if
I
you had a
played of it,
PlayStation Portal, you know, you could have been playing it
ew,
anyway.
ooh,
It
ooh,
sucks.
ew.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll get to the
No,
Portal thing later, but this does look good. There's no multiplayer or nothing, right? It's just the campaign.
not that I know of, no.
That's fine
That'd
with
be
me.
cool.
I don't know if I want a bunch of like really slow RoboCops running around the map. It'd be like the exact opposite of Call of Duty, like just kind of grunting across the thing. I do want to put this on my wish list actually because this game does look very, very good. Which I do want. Oh, by the way, that does explain. We do have like a small gap between like things you hear us responding. There is that hotel Wi-Fi, which is just always top hits in my every experience I've ever had with hotel Wi-Fi. RoboCop. Uh, shit, no, I have a secret website for Steam deals. I think this is playable on Steam. I'd play it on the deck, but if you want to write this website down, I wouldn't yell at you. Um, $30, not too bad. I might play this, get this eventually. So, yeah, RoboCop. I'm gonna
And I
get that.
apologize.
Hmm?
Sorry, Kev. I was ironically about to apologize for accidentally cutting you off, but there's a little delay for me,
Yeah,
and I ended up cutting you off in the middle of my apology.
yeah. The hotel Wi-Fi sucks, man. There's never been a vacation I've been on in my life where I was like, "Damn, this internet rules." So, actually, I'm gonna be in a hotel next week, and my first thought was, I'll bring an Xbox controller with the phone mount to play more RoboQuest, and then I was like, that cloud gaming is gonna suck. So I'm gonna have to plan a backup of that. Probably get a Steam Deck, but or bring the Steam Deck. What else do we have? That was everything I guess I played. Yeah. Did you got anything else?
Not on the dock for playing anything. That's about what I played.
Gotcha. Well, then we do have some things to go over. We won't be doing the gauntlet this week because Aaron's not here. He still owes me a pizza, that fuck. We went over this last week quickly. A Rockstar GTA executive says games should be kind of billed on entertainment per hour. Quick recap of what me and Aaron thought. That's dumb and stupid because it only seems to work one way. Just because a game's long does not mean it's good, number one. But a game's short doesn't mean it should be charged less. Kind of like, listen, if people keep buying it, put it out there or put it on sale. I mean, when Skyrim gets cheap, nobody complains that the game should be more expensive because the game's so long, you know? It's only when a game's 100 hours. And length can depend on how replayable is it. Like, some people, when they beat the game, they're done. They don't go back. Or like, Dead Cells, a $20 game, I've put 200 hours of my life into it. You know, it's not really correlated, but you wanted to give your thoughts on that, and feel free.
Well, first off, I wish my ex-girlfriend agreed length doesn't matter, but we won't get into that.
Hey, yo.
Yo, but I honestly think that that's a horrible way to look at things, especially in the gaming space. Like you said, like it's about the quality of the story, not necessarily how long it is or how short it is. And
Mhm.
I think it would alienate a lot of players, right? Like it would be like a cost gate, like $75 for a PS5 game or an Xbox game. That's already getting to the point where it's like, yo, do I afford gas today or do I buy the latest, Mario or Zelda game or whatever?
Right. And
Um,
games are a luxury. They're not a necessity. So like
right.
personally, I am never going to pay $70 for a game. I thought 60 was already too much, and they can't even have the audacity to finish most games when they get released. So I'm gonna wait for a sale 9 times out of 10 anyway, and then it'll be all patched and good. So like I'll wait. Doesn't bother me.
I agree with you 120%. Like,
Hmm.
I just think that executive is so out of touch,
Oh yeah.
especially with the gaming market. Like, it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. And I have one friend at Jiu-Jitsu who said I would pay $100 for GTA 6. I said you're a fucking idiot because like games get cheaper unless you're Nintendo who just like is thinks their shit doesn't stink. Like every game gets cheaper. Like it's only really Nintendo first party games that don't. And I think that's stupid still, but whatever. Nintendo's gonna like Nintendo. It's just it's worth waiting. And I mean, like, I don't know who even knows if it's gonna be good. Like, how can you say like we should price this game at 120 and you just think people will buy it? Will people probably buy it? Probably, because a lot of people shit talk a lot of things on the internet and then they do the opposite anyway. But I just don't. I'm not gonna pay $120 for a video game, man. Especially when you got so many other things. Like, not to be the indie game fanboy, but there's a lot of cheap indie games out there that are way better than a lot of AAA things. Again, you can go to Dead Cells. Like, put more time into a $20 game than you know, like anything else. And Fortnite. Look at Fortnite being like the only good example of like a free to play game that I can think of. I mean, Apex, Warzone, whatever. You can put those in there too, but there's very few that make it worth it. So,
I agree. Like, I think the more that we support indie devs, the better, because it'll start to hopefully it'll get to those big AAA companies to be like, maybe we need to rethink our strategy here a little bit.
I mean, yeah, and well, the indie games too kind of bring back the days of like taking a weird gamble on a game and just seeing if it hits. Like I think the last time we really saw it was like the PS2, Xbox era, where like somebody just decided let's have a Shrek like Smash Brothers clone. They'd never do that nowadays because it's too much money to put into it with the licensing and all this other shit. So you're never gonna see that. I mean, I've played. If I look at my little tier list here, just for the year, like a lot of AAA stuff just isn't making it because like one, it's expensive, and two, like it's just not worth it. So if I look at it, let's just bring everybody in for a ride here, and everyone can tell me how wrong my ratings are. as I got to put RoboQuest on here. I mean, like S tier, I got Hotline Miami, which is a banger of a game. You know, Dead Cells, banger of a game, indie game. Doom, okay, not an indie game. 30XX, indie game. Sea of Stars, indie game. High on Life, I don't know, not AAA, but not
It's the
indie.
double A.
Yeah, one of those. I mean, here's even the A tier: 20XX, Blossom Tales, Koromon, Demon's Tilt, Pizza Tower, Terror of Hamasaurus, Cat Quest, which was really fun. Party Animals, great. Why not Fortnite S tier? To answer this, it's not the first time I played it this year. Hollow Knight, and then I don't know. It does suck because like you and I know indie games, but there are so many people who they will not give a game a chance because like they've either never heard of it or they won't give it a chance because of like an indie game. Like I showed RoboQuest to my brother and he had zero interest because it doesn't look realistic enough. And I was like, that's a dumb fucking reason, but you know, it does matter to some people. Like graphics matter to some people, and that's enough to like sell a game to a casual audience, you know?
For
But
me,
yeah,
as long as the story and the mechanics are there, the graphics can look like doo-doo for all I care.
I'm like in the middle. I don't want it to look like horse ass. You know, you could put I like my example is always like Pokemon. Like there is no reason
Hmm.
Sword and Shield have to fucking look the way they do. Those games don't need to be looking and performing like doo doo. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of gross, but
Yeah, that's another reason why I'm getting into like Pokemon ROM hacks is because like the new ones I always say like kind of aren't doing it for me. Like I'm waiting for them to be better. And I don't know when they will, but I'm gonna play them eventually just to finally say I did, but I'm not gonna spend my own money on it. But yeah, no, I'm a big indie game supporter because I just want new things, and I want new ideas because I don't know, I don't need the next Souls clone coming out. So that be that. All right, there's a couple little things on this list here. Literally, I got like two things, but we'll make them work. We got Mr. Phil Spencer, blessed be thy Game Pass, saying he's got no plans to bring Game Pass to PlayStation and Nintendo, which everyone kind of thought was going to happen. There's been like a whole big rumor that like at least the Game Pass Cloud thing was going to come to Switch, which I personally don't think is a good idea. Mostly because you kind of, let's just, I like Xbox stuff, but they don't got that many exclusives. And you know, it sucks. Their big selling point is Game Pass. So if you want to sell these Xboxes and they're the only things that do Game Pass natively, kind of makes sense to keep it right there. So I don't really get the point of doing it on a Switch would be because you know that the Switch is not going to be playing Halo Infinite natively. There's just no fucking way. Like
that'd be
it can't hit.
crazy though, wouldn't it?
It'd be crazy, but I mean, it just can't. The thing's 7 years old. It can barely
Mm.
run modern games at like full quality. You think it's gonna handle Halo? I don't think so, man. But I don't
No.
know. Yeah, what you think? You want Game Pass and other things? I want it on my fucking Steam Deck natively, but beyond that,
I mean, I think like because let's be honest, as much as we love consoles, um, it, like Xbox is in third place. Like Switch is number one this generation just because of the pure install base and the time that it's had to permeate through the gaming culture sphere. But PS5 like bursted onto the scene and was like the Kool-Aid guy and was like, oh yeah, you know.
mm-hmm.
Um so I personally think that the Series X and Series S they need Game Pass just to be kind of within their PC Xbox ecosystem because
Yeah,
that's that's what they got going for it.
yeah. I mean, I know people that hate Game Pass solely because they're like, one of my friends said like he devalues like games, and I'm like, I don't give a shit, man. It's my wallet. I don't care that it devalues the like any company. Like as long as they're thriving and I'm getting games for a good deal, that's all I give a shit about. You know. Um, I mean, I would like to see even if the cloud app was more native to Steam Deck, I'd get it. Like, but like I don't know, I that's the whole reason I got an Xbox. Like personally, there's nothing. I was a big PlayStation guy like last gen, but like all the exclusives that came out for it were like they were still coming on PS4, so I was like, okay, no need for that yet. And then like I think it was like Ratchet and Clank. I was like, okay, finally something I want a PS5 for. Ah, it's on Steam Deck. Like, oh well, all right then, never mind. Exclusives are good for things. I think at least.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't. No Game Pass on anywhere else. That's fine with me. I can live with that. Keeps my Xbox special. And then this is for other people, but apparently Capcom is more excited to bring Resident Evil remakes, more of them. I don't know if you've heard my Resident Evil hot opinion before, but I don't think any of them got good till 4. And I will die on that hill because I hate tank controls. And I don't get why horror games have to necessarily mean dumb puzzle games that make no sense. So when 4 came out, I was like, finally, okay, it's a scary game where I don't have to just do dumb puzzles all day. And Resident Evil 2 remake, I like, hate the original. I haven't played 3, and I gotta play the remake of the first one. So I'm excited for those. I don't know how you feel about Resident Evil.
Dude, I am a huge Resident Evil fan,
Mm-hmm.
but I agree with you. Puzzles are like they're okay, but dude, when I'm opening a door trying not to get my face gnawed on by a zombie, or trying not to get my there we go. Let me fix that.
You want your face
Trying
gnawed
not
off
to
by a
get
zombie.
gnawed. Well, I mean, certain days, if it's a hot lady zombie, then. But
I don't.
anyway, before we go down a degenerate lane,
I'm already there.
um, fair. I like them, but I agree with you. I think the puzzles were kind of dumb. I think it broke up the action a
Mm-hmm.
little bit too much. Um, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm a big fan of the series.
So did you do any of the remakes though, or no?
Um, I started them, but then I was like, that's my issue with the remakes in general. I like the idea that the games are being brought up to a more modern audience and being playable.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I'm like, I've played it already. Give me something new. Give me something exciting. Like that's where we were just talking about how we love indie games for that reason. Um, like I think remakes have their place. Like give me something new. I don't want Resident Evil 5 for the 90th time or
Well,
4.
so I used to think that, and I'm not saying you're wrong, obviously, but when I worked in a game store, I used to say the same thing of like, I don't need this game released again, because like that's what remakes are. They're the game again, and if you're gonna do a remake one, actually make it different. Like the old Resident Evil 2 versus the new one, night and day. You would never even. I could almost say they're not even close to the same game. Like it's the
Mm,
framework of 2, but the game plays completely differently. And the other thing that like we got to remember is that like we are a very small minority. Like a lot of people, probably 95% of them, don't keep their old shit. The second the PS4s or the PS5's out, PS4 is gone out the window. They don't care. So they get rid of that, sell it to GameStop, sell all the games, and then when they see a remake of a game they used to have, they go, "Oh man, I missed that game," And like, is it their fault for getting rid of their stuff? Yeah, maybe, probably, but like, just a lot of people don't keep it, and like, it was kind of eye opening once got out of the game store and I thought about like, oh, I had this game on Super Nintendo. Like, I don't need a remake of it. I'll play the original. A lot of people just don't. They don't think about it. The second something new is out, gone from their memory. So there's a market. I mean, clearly they still keep doing it.
for sure. I'm just not one of those
No.
not one of those people. Like I have my Nike shoebox from when I was a kid
Mhm.
where I had Lion King cheat codes written on the side of the shoebox.
Yeah. It's that, and then once we moved like 3 times in a year,
Mm.
I just realized keeping all that shit is just a pain in the butt. Like it's a pain to carry around. When we had a little apartment, I had to get rid of. Well, I stored all the boxes of the games, and I could only take the CDs, so I got like CD cases. It's just a lot to carry around. So like, my situation is just I got rid of it. Like I became more of a digital guy because it's just easier, man. I mean, it comes with its pros and cons too, but it's just easier. So there is a market for these remakes, and people like them. So
That's
as long as
fair.
they do a good job, I'm that
Yeah.
guy now. And then there was something else we wanted to go over too. I see you. You're visible.
No. Sorry.
I don't care. Queen interruption. Go ahead. I remember you had something about preservation.
Oh yeah, there. Like I was gonna. You want me to go through for preservation first, or do you want me to go for the Disney thing first?
I do the preservation. I don't know if we're gonna have time for the Disney one.
Fair enough. So one thing that I was kind of think that kind of spurred the preservation uh situation was what that CEO or the executive had said about games should be uh based on for price based on the hours or the length of the game, so on or so forth. But I was thinking the game industry is moving more and more towards a service-based industry, and things are going more digital. Um, which means once those game stores or game fronts shut down, they're gone. It's gone forever into the ether of the ones and zeros of the internet's bygone era. Ooh. Sorry, I was trying to make it epic. I need to
No,
work
I
on
get it.
sound effects. But
I get it.
like we got really lucky where we grew up where things were always physical. Like Super Nintendo, N64, PS1, PS2, yada yada. We have our history to an extent backed up. We have a physical copy of it, and nerds like us have been able to preserve those copies of those games on the internet for future generations. But now things are getting more and more digital or more and more surface based, where like you have a game like Paragon, for instance, that one game
Hmm.
that tanked super hard that was like online only. Do you remember that game? It lasted like 5 minutes.
Yeah, there's a couple of those.
Yeah, like even though they sucked, uh, future generations will have a difficult time playing that game if they wanted to play it,
Hmm.
or things of that nature, like the Xbox 360 storefront shutting down. We no longer have access to a lot of those indie games, and those are
Uh,
lost
yeah,
in a lot of ways.
I want to remember what games were lost doing that. I can't remember. Shut down. So like they are, and like I did grow up with the luck of things being physical, but as I got older, I just well, number one, so you said how we have all of our stuff backed up, right? Like we were lucky enough to back it all up on the internet. I mean, technically, that's technically digital. And while I have shifted more to digital stuff for convenience, like people tell me like once you get this like disc game, you get it forever, it's yours, right? But like the thing is like nothing. I mean, really, nothing's forever. Number one, and then everyone always says like the game is forever, but like, what if your PS2 breaks? And then like one day, like there's just not going to be enough people that know how to fix PS2s anymore, because it's just like a long lost medium. When I worked at a game store, like it was so hard to find somebody who could fix like an older console. They just had to know it, and like what size motor did it use? Like, do they even make this motor anymore? So like eventually everything's gonna go away. We're gonna run out, even if you have the disc. I mean, in a way, the only way to actually preserve anything is piracy, which
That's
that's
why
really
emulation is so important.
Right. And then, like, I guess you could say emulation is more digital. I mean, I don't have the cartridges, you know? I mean, that's really the only way. It just, there are games that, like, yeah, will get lost to time and that sucks, but I think that goes on with anything. Like, there's old movies that, like, they're only printed on whatever film format they were. And then, like, because people just didn't think about it, they, like, filmed over them or they stored them away and they got destroyed, Like, eventually everything's going to get lost to time. We can only do our best. So,
Right.
when that comes to that Xbox storefront, I remember, like, this could be totally wrong, but I remember some people being like, so, like, the 360 store itself on the 360 is shutting down. But all those games, if I remember right, were on the new store. But I don't want to say that's true, like, fully. Like, I don't think any. There was some. I think, like, maybe a couple of games that, like, yeah, they're gone, but they were, like, online only things that, like, yeah, you want them to be available, but, like, if they're online only and you can't even get a full lobby, what are you gonna do? Um,
Right.
I just can't remember what
And I
games they
get
were.
that. My main thing is as long as we have a way to play them. That's where my whole thing about being able to have a backup copy,
Right. Um,
especially with the Nintendo store.
well, Nintendo's just bad at that. And even though the completionist is kind of in some hot shit right now, I do kind of appreciate his effort of buying all those games and backing them up some way. Like, yes,
Yeah.
that is a giant thing, but, like, I mean, it's just a way. Unfortunately, everything's going to get lost to time. All right, so all 360
Yeah.
games that will disappear forever. So there is quite a list. Let me just see. So if we got OD, Beat Drop, 10 Frame Bowling, Connect. All right, to be fair, if we lose the Connect games, does anyone care? Like, I think we're all better off as a society if we don't get those.
Mm,
That seems
Yeah,
fine,
you're
right?
not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So if I just pick a random game from here, so we got Batman, Arkham Origins, Blackgate. So here's one that just says, like, if the 360 store goes down, it's gone forever. That's the claim, right? So if I just look this up, but, like, it's on Steam right here. So, like, there's ways, and, like, I know Steam is, like, they're kind of the best at preserving things. Like, it's like, okay, we're gonna lose the 360 version of that game forever. Like, are we? I don't know. Call of Duty Classic. Let me just, for funsies. And then I'll try to pick a more obscure one. Call of Duty Classic. Can I play it anywhere? Okay, so maybe not. Maybe I can't. So here's one. I thought that one would have been, oh, here we are, Call of Duty 2003 for Steam. So, like, that's here. I mean, like, there's ways around them. Like, somebody's usually backing something up. Let's try to find, like, the most obscure one. The Dishwasher. Whatever that is. I don't know. Video game. Let's see. What the fuck is this? Dishwasher Dead Samurai? I did not think a game
Now
called the
I'm mildly intrigued.
Yeah, I never thought that was going to be it. But again, it's on Steam. I'm not saying people's claims of games being gone forever because digital is like you're renting a license. Like, I get it. And I know people want to hold the thing forever, but, like, I'm telling you, just piracy and backing up your shit, that's the way to do it. I mean, is it illegal? Probably. But, people will have them forever. This game looks weird as fuck. I'm in. And it's Steam Deck verified. Okay, you know what? I'm in. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of things that, like, would definitely not be here, like, anymore. Like, some of these things I see on other platforms. And then, if we do, let's just do the Dishwasher again, just for funsies. Is it on the Xbox store? Let me find out. Like, if it's on the new Xbox store. The Dishwasher. Just for funsies, just so I can find out. Xbox Marketplace, so that's the 360 one. But, like, will they move them forward? I don't really. Let's see, 18 years of Microsoft, have replaced, still play all the games downloaded. All right, so that's the other thing I always go over. Like, people say, like, they can just shut off your digital game at any time. I don't remember a time that's ever happened, really. Like if you own it, you own it. But like I see it as like, stores stopping to carry Super Nintendo games too, Like, okay, you can't buy them anymore. That's just, things move out of stores too. The only time I think that's ever happened was like PT, which is the one that people go to. But like, you didn't buy PT. It was a demo, So like, I don't think it's a strong case to be like they stole your game. Oh, I had it yesterday. I got a Steam notification that Blue Protocol has been revoked by the developer, so you can't boot it up at all. Then Chase, also hi, how you doing? So like, if you go to boot it up now, you can't play it. And like, is it a game that requires an internet connection? Because if so, okay, you got me. I just never found a game where it happened. But I don't know. I see this side for both is my point. But I don't know. Some people are gonna be physical no matter what. It is, but didn't they do it with an AC game too? Not that I know of. You could be right. Was there an Assassin's Creed game they did that with? 2? Maybe? But then they just moved it to UB Plus. It's not a perfect system. I'm not gonna say it's not. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want stuff to go away forever, but that's why piracy is the only way. So back your shit up, Nano. I mean, if you need a guy that has a bunch of their legally backed up games on a Google Drive file, I know a guy. In case you need them. Not that you would, because you would never do that, right? That'd be bad.
No. Plus, ROM mega threads. They have a lot of people that let you borrow. It's like Blockbuster, You're borrowing from friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Legally.
it's all good on that front.
Yeah. The people that do these backing up of things are heroes to me. And listen, nothing's forever. But play games how you want. Honestly, my answer to anything is get a game physically or digitally, whatever's cheaper. Because fuck them. That's why. I got bills to pay too. But that is it. Absolutely. Chase, thanks for coming by the end. If you guys, I know you guys were here live. If you like it live, that's great. Please download the episode. We do love them downloads, and you can see everything that you missed. So there's that. Rick says, looks fairly simple. If you have a legitimate way to purchase, you should. If not, then they have no leg to stand on. The rules around emulation get weird and like ROMs. I think with the actual illegal part, like with music back in the day, it's not downloading it, it's uploading it. It's providing a way to get it illegally is the illegal part, which I think people kind of miss over. Like, that's really where the crime happens, because you could back your own stuff up. It's distributing it. That's where the illegal stuff happens, and I would never do that. Steal everything? I, for legal reasons, can't say I agree. But yeah. All right, so we'll get out of here. Nano, if there's anything else you want to say before we get out of here.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I had a blast, and it was honestly an honor and a privilege to be here this early in the morning with you, and thank you for shouting me out. I appreciate it.
Of course. Do what I can. Please check him out. I gave him the shout out there. Rick, I purposely, once I found this new bot, made sure you can't do that anymore. I know you'll break it out for that exact reason. You can find him over twitch.tv, NanoGoblin. I am available on all the things, Console Kev or Console Kev Twitch, one of those. I got nothing today. This is it. I got a busy day ahead of me. I do not know what tomorrow holds for me. Probably RoboQuest. I don't fucking know. I might be addicted to it. And everyone should go get a copy so we can play together, because I don't think I'm ever going to beat this game on my own. So that's going to be it. This episode will be up as soon as I can get it there. I forgot to record it, so which means I got to export it and then download it. It happens like that. And yeah, so we'll get out of here. So bye-bye, everybody. Oh, patrons. Thank you, JD and Clippissimo. I didn't forget about you. Bye for real.